won't find the word stress in the Bible, at least not in that word. I think distress occurs, but not stress. But there are plenty of other words that the Bible does use, either in the Old Testament, in our Hebrew scriptures, or in the New Testament in Greek. And I've put a sort of smattering of them up there. So you'll find the idea or reference to heaviness, the idea of burden, so this idea of being under pressure, almost physically speaking. The psalmists and others talk about that. The idea of being troubled in spirit, or troubling others, again, is there. Bitterness of soul, or grief, or vexation, and being vexed. Again, this idea of frustration, perhaps tinged with a little bit of anger, or certainly of upset of sorts. And then in the New Testament, the words care, so being careful, not in the way perhaps we use it in modern day parlance, but the idea of care, or anxiety, or anxiousness, again, are words that are really associated with the modern word stress. And Jesus really warns about, or forewarns even, his followers about the problem of stress, and challenges that it would be a problem for disciples, that it would be almost a distraction. So this is one of Jesus's famous prophecies, sometimes called the Olivet prophecy, where he tells his disciples to watch, to take heed to themselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. And it's that phrase there, cares of this life, that is this idea of anxiety or stress, or something akin to that. So that was a problem Jesus realized would impact and affect discipleship. Stress, or the cares, the anxieties of this life, could be something that would distract followers from their discipleship and from their belief. And then as a result of that, they would become unfocused on really what was important on the day of the Lord's coming. Well, we really want to spend most of our time this evening on looking at some use cases